friends, especially with our own. It's News Talk with Fancy Grace.
And this is News Talk with Fancy Grace. I am Fancy Grace, and you are watching News Talk with me, Fancy Grace. Tonight, I have yet another unbelievable story, folks, that's hitting the headlines. It's about a prison, and a power, and a man, and a nice wardrobe. Please welcome to my show, Joseoh. Give him a round of applause. Well, Joseoh, welcome to News Talk with Fancy Grace. We are on News Talk with Fancy Grace, and I am Fancy Grace.
Thank you, Fancy.
Well, Joseoh, many of us, including myself, are very familiar with your story. But just so that everyone's on the same page and they know really what you're doing here on News Talk with Fancy Grace, I'm Fancy Grace. If you could just give us a quick rundown.
Well, thank you, Fancy Grace. I think I've got that all down.
Hey, don't interrupt me. Okay, that was rude. And don't do that again.
I'm sorry, Fancy. I won't do it again.
Okay, now give us a quick rundown.
Well, sure. See, when I was younger, my brothers, they beat me up and they threw me into a well.
Brothers are so like that.
Yeah, they can be. So
My brother was like that, and his first name was
Disgrace. Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. Well, one day, when they were out, they threw me in the pit and they sold me into slavery.
Oh, that's bad.
No, that's good, because you see, eventually when I was sold into slavery, I ended up with a man named Potiphar. Ended up at his house.
Oh, and that's good.
No, that's bad, you see, because Potiphar, he accused me of doing some things I didn't really do.
That is bad.
No, that's good, because you see, then I ended up in prison, and when I was in prison, I interpreted the dreams of some very important people.
Oh, that was good.
No, that was bad, because, then I had to tell one man that he was going to be executed.
That's bad?
No, it's good, because from that I ended up, thanks, Nancy. From that I ended up, I interpreted some very important dreams for a very important man named Pharaoh, that's pretty good, huh?
Yes, but I honestly stopped paying attention to you because my notes tell me here that there was a famine. And right in the middle of the famine and the starvation, you were strutting around like Mr. I'm Egyptian, wearing Egyptian 500 thread count cotton clothes.
You make it sound like...
You ignored your own people.
No,
You didn't care. You just let them starve.
Fancy, if you could just...
You are living high on the camel, weren't you, mister?
You got it all.
You know what? I find it absolutely unbelievable, folks. And it just speaks, mister. See what I did there? Little play on words. Egyptians, Egypt, Sphinx.
If I could just...
You wanted your own pyramid, didn't you?
No,
You were just in denial.
What?
See there? I did it again. Denial, sounds like the river.
See, I don't know how you do it or why, so...
You have a criminal record.
Yeah, but...
You were an ex-con.
when you put it like...
A jail-er, folks. And in spite of your criminal history and activity, you were able to go and secure the job of second in command of Pharaoh. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I did.
You must be connected. You must have friends in very high places.
Well, you could say that.
Unbelievable, folks. I think that I speak for myself and my entire audience when I say, please explain yourself.
Well, it's pretty simple, actually. I knew that even when things got hard or when things got bad, I knew I just had to push through and that God would be there for me. Because I've seen that God always keeps his promises, and I remain faithful.
Now that's good. Thank you, Joseph. Another unbelievable story, folks. Please thank Joseph for coming to my studio today.